Dear online team store, I would like to return this Astros offense. I was promised a lot of runs, and in 5 games, we've gotten 9 runs. 9 runs? Seriously? That's 1.8 runs per game. I would like a refund. Denied? Denied? What the heck? Well, like Jeremy Pena says, it's still early in the season. We'll talk about it on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at? You're muted.
Hey, you can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on X and on Facebook. And you can find me at Back to the Bullpen on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, and iHeartRadio, where I'm always positive, always Stros. Let me just say this. Why are there two Locked On lives? Well, I'll tell you. There's a postcast that does an immediate post-game reaction. But there's Locked On Astros. For 6 years, we've done game, we've done all the shows after the game. So we're not changing anything we do. We continue to operate as usual. So you can go watch Michael Connor. You can come watch us. You have two choices now. We just ask that you support both shows.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Make us your first listen Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go and make us your first listen. Go and check out Michael Connor with the Locked On Astros podcast as well. Go and check out Locked On Fantasy Baseball. Wherever you do it, just keep it within the Locked On the Locked On network, and we appreciate you. So, Brett, I know that everybody's a little bit upset with the offense right now. 5 games, 9 runs, 1.8 per game. Pitching is doing its job. It's limiting the opposition to about 2 to 3 runs per game. But unfortunately, when offense isn't scoring runs, you're not going to win a lot of these games. And the Astros now find themselves 2-3 on the season. And yes, Jeremy Pena said it's early in the season. It's hard to read too much into this. And Isak Brady said the same thing, that these guys are good, that they're going to eventually break out of this. But so far, the only guy that's been swinging the bat good is Jose Altuve. He had a home run tonight. Otherwise, overall, it's not a very good look right now.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to immediately look at what Logan Webb did tonight. Logan Webb was really good, Eric. He threw 43 sinkers, 24 sweepers, 14 changeups, 12 cutters, and 7 four-seam fastballs. I mean, this guy just came out and absolutely shoved. He produced 12 swings and misses, 2 on every one of the pitches except for the sweeper, 4 swings and misses. So this is the case of the sputtering offense, and then also the case of just not producing at the plate. I'll change our background template here in a second.
Yeah, I'm doing it real quick. Go and continue.
So, yeah, so it's just one of those things where the Houston Astros are in a slow start as usual mode anyways, okay? And they really just, I don't know, they just can't do it. They can't do it at the plate. Jose Altuve is the lone hitter. Someone, a listener, okay, sent me a guy named Dylan who actually went to an Astros game, I guess last year, reached out to me, reached out to the show, was asking questions. He submitted a lineup to me, and he goes, how do you like my lineup? It says hitters 1 through 4, Jose Altuve. The 5th hitter, Jeremy Pena. Hitters 6 and 7, Jose Altuve. The 8th hitter, Yordan Alvarez, and the 9th hitter, Jose Altuve. And I said, sounds like a winning lineup to me. I mean, that's where we're at, folks. And yes, it's a slow start. Yes, Jeremy Pena and the guys aren't going to read too much into it. And no, you're not going to lose the division. You're not going to win the division now, but you're also You can also lose it if you lose some key games, like the Rangers won 1-0 today. So, I mean, you're going to have your highs and your lows, but there's been a lot more lows than highs tonight, Eric. They had their first 2 runners in scoring position all season. Like the first 5 games, it was the first 2 at-bats they've had this year where they've had runners in scoring position while someone's up at the plate. I mean, that is absolutely, I mean, it's just kind of unreal. And I mean, what is the deal? What is the deal with these bats at home? And again, I'll say, like I said last night, this offense has declined and had been not as impressive over the last couple years leading up to this year. And without Kyle Tucker and without Alex Bregman, it's even more heightened and even more accentuated and even more under the magnifying glass, because you bring in Walker to hit home runs, to get on base. You bring in Paredes, who sees a lot of pitches, to get on base. Pena's a hot bat going into the season, and you don't think that Altuve is the guy that's carrying the offense, but he is the only one carrying the offense. Jordan Alvarez looks terrible at the plate right now, watching fastballs go down into his hot zone, into the red box, and the only red box in the 9 quadrants. He's watching pitches go. Jordan, swing at that first pitch, please. They're going to give you crap after that. It's just, but you know what? As frustrated as you are, or as I am, or as our listeners are, I guarantee the players are more frustrated, but you know what? They're also not. They're not panicking.
Guys, if you're frustrated about this Astros lineup, go look at the Braves lineup right now. Not only did they lose Jerks and Profar, but they're also the batting order. It's atrocious. They have worse. They don't have anybody that's above 200, I believe, or 250 at this moment. So it is early in the season. You can't read too much into this, but at some point you hope that they turn things around. Cam Smith looked terrible against Rogers. I guess he hasn't seen a guy like that in high A ball. So it's definitely some different looks. He's definitely getting some on the job experience. You have McCormick that got the start. Then you had Caratini with a clutch pitch hit. Unfortunately, nothing happened with it, but the Astros gave themselves some opportunity. Unfortunately, just nothing came from it. And so it's just unfortunate that the offense is not doing anything, but Wisniewski went out there and he did what he could do. He had 2 walks of the 8 and 9 hitter, and that's never a good recipe for success. I mean, both those guys scored. He had 3 walks in a game, but overall 5 innings, 2 hits allowed, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts. He did allow 1 home run, but not bad from a guy that you didn't know what to expect. And he gave you 6 strikeouts, and he showed that he could be a good pitcher for you, but he's got to work on those definitely situational pitching with those walks.
Well, right. And I will say this, Hayden Wisniewski's quality start, or as I call it, a quality start. I don't know that he pitched enough innings to get the quality start, but Hayden produced 13 swings and misses. Okay, he had 5 innings. 13 swings and misses. He topped out at 97.1. And look, I mean, for a guy who's your number 5 starter, to get something like that out of him and to lose is frustrating. So you can say, oh, well, you know, it's the number 4, number 5 guy, you know, Blanco and Wisniewski. But Blanco and Wisniewski, they weren't bad. They did their job. The offense has absolutely let these pitching staff down. Pitching staff is top 4 in just about every major pitching category that you look at. And the only reason why the Astros are in anybody's top 10 power rankings right now, which I think is probably a little generous, is because of the pitching staff. And I don't think this is the 05 offense. This offense is way better than the 05 offense. So we remember that. We remember those games they lost to the White Sox and Jeff Blum and all those guys. I mean, they lost like 3-2, 4-1. I mean, they lost games that most teams could have beat with one hand tied behind their back. This offense has got to figure it out. And my question is this, and I think the calls need to be a little bit louder from outside of the clubhouse, is what are we doing? Is the pitching coach, is the approach Is the preparation for the game, is it lacking? And if it is, then we need to change something, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Yeah, and if you look at the Astros starting pitching, we'll have to talk about that in a second. They're actually in the top 5 or top 6 in terms of baseball. And the teams that are ahead of them, it's weird, guys. This is a weird year so far. So we'll talk about that on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast.
That's right. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Y'all know what's coming up this weekend. It's the Final Four. Guess who's in the Final Four? The University of Houston Cougars. That's correct. Let's help cheer them on to victory, because March Madness is here, and FanDuel's giving you a chance to get in the action like never before. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. If you've got your eyes on an underdog in these 2 series, well, guess what? I think U of H, maybe they're an underdog. Maybe Duke's the underdog. Whoever it is, you go with that person. You go with your hunch, and you could win. I personally am not going to bet against University of Houston Cougars, but with the tournament games happening this weekend, I know there's something exciting for everyone, whether it's props, whether it's spreads or totals. FanDuel has you covered. The app is simple to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com today and get in the college hoops action all tournament long.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go ahead and check us out. And so, Brett, I know that tomorrow is Wednesday, where it's the last game of the series. Hopefully the Astros can pull away a W and they can get things going offensively. But so far, they haven't been missing the beat in the rotation. The first turn to through, they have a 2.79 ERA with their starters. That is, I'm trying to find it. There it is. That is actually 5th. I was right the first time. They are 5th in baseball. The teams that they're behind, number 1, you would have guessed this, is the Chicago White Sox with a 0.63 ERA. The Rockies have a 0.84 ERA. The Rays have a 1.24 ERA. And then the Reds have a 2.70 ERA. Right behind them in 6th place is the Giants at 2.86.
Well, here's the deal. Like I said, we can't put the cart before the horse. Are the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim going to be in first place at the end of the season? Absolutely not. Are the Mariners going to be last in the West? Absolutely not. Are the Red Sox going to be last? No. I mean, you look at the standings, and it's the Cardinals, they're leading the Central 3-2. Okay. The Dodgers, they should be 6-0. They are the best team in baseball. The Padres are 5-0. The West is an absolute behemoth. The West is the only division right now that looks like it's in proper order. The Dodgers, the Padres, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, who I think will challenge for the West, and the Rockies. But right now, we've got to be careful not to get too worked up over this. Again, it's a 162-game season. Yes, it is more of the same. Is it the batter's eye? Is it a torpedo bat? No, it's between the ears. And the Astros, they've got to snap out of it. For them to salvage a winning record at home, they have to win tomorrow, a day game. Then they go on the road. They go to Minnesota, which they hit Minnesota really well. I believe it's cold as heck up there, so it's going to be cold. The baseball hopefully be flying out to right field. They'll get the day off on Friday, and then they'll finish up the series. But the Astros have got to get this winning record at home. I think it's important that they go out tomorrow. 3-10 game, I believe. Is that correct, Eric, for the Houston Astros? 3-10 game, and it's Rope versus Framber Valdez, who's 1-0. So there you go. You got a pitcher who already has a win, so why not? But, Eric, I'm going to ask you this. Walker and Alvarez have been up, I think, 3 or 4 different times when they've had guys on base. what has to change here? Is it batting order? Is it they just need more chances, too small of a sample size? Like, that is, to me, one of the things that's glaring at me right now is the ineptitude of Walker and Alvarez back-to-back, who are supposed to both be threats at the plate.
With Walker, just keep in mind he did miss a big chunk of spring training with the injury, so not making excuses for him, but
True.
his bat may not be up to speed. He has been making hard contact, but he hasn't been able to get it where he wants to go. So I think with time, he will get there. He has gotten hits in back-to-back days. So I'm not too worried with Walker. With when you make hard contact, make like barreling like he is, those hits normally fall. But with Alvarez, it is something that he got under the ball today instead of driving like you normally see. It was a pop up to second base. He just doesn't look comfortable. I know during spring training he did play. They weren't trying to hold him back. He didn't. I think he had about 30 plate appearances in spring training. But maybe in the past we've seen him with less plate appearances and get ready, but maybe he's just getting off to a slow start. And sometimes teams just get off to a slow start and maybe they need to change their scenery, get on the road. And
right.
I don't know, but I'm not going to say Alvarez all of a sudden sucks. But
I didn't say he sucks, and I understand that, but the slow start is every single year. There's got to be something different that comes about. Now, it is a much better result than getting swept 4-0. That's the, I guess, luxury here of being 2-3 is you're not 0-4 or you're not 1-4. But I think what has to happen, and not what has to happen, I think what is happening and what will happen is the Astros are very much introspective, and I think most ball players are, but this club in particular, you had a guy like Bregman who was always studying stuff, talking to people about what they were doing at different at-bats. Even if he was starting slow, he was helping people. There's got to be guys like that in the clubhouse. It's not like that is all of a sudden absent with this team. And there is something to be said. You got to respect Logan Webb as a hell of a pitcher. Logan Webb is not some schlub. He's not some third-rate pitcher. This guy's really good. He's got good stuff, and he showed it tonight. So, look, they put up a crooked number. We didn't. Our pitcher countered. We only gave up 3 runs. So there's that. There's that. It's not like we're getting the brakes beat off of us 13-1. So you do have hope in that. Come back tomorrow, 3-10 game, get the getaway game. It's always good to do that. Go to Minnesota, turn the tide a little bit. Let's see this offense pick up.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people are mentioning that Kyle Tucker has homered in 4 straight games.
Wow.
He's not an Astro anymore. So it's like
Eric, hold on. Wait, what do you mean Kyle Tucker's not an Astro? Nobody told me this. I'm joking.
I mean, we can't look back. He wasn't going to come. The Astros weren't going to be able to re-sign him. They got something for him, and this is something that they have not done before. I would love to have Kyle Tucker back in this lineup. But
344, a 1291 OPS. Yeah, Kyle Tucker. He's having a heck of a start to the season.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, I want him to have success, and I want him to get the contract that he wants, but he wasn't going to get that with the Houston Astros. If
he has
anybody he was going to give, Jim Crane would give the money to, it was Kyle Tucker, but he wasn't going to.
Yeah, he has a home run in 3 straight games, not 4. So he's he only has 3. He only has 3, and unless that stat is not right. Is it 4 straight games with a home run today?
I'm pretty sure unless I just saw it wrong, but
okay, no, that's 3 or 4. Heck, you know who doesn't have 3 or 4 games with a home run in a row? Us. I thought Altuve was going to end up tying it up. I thought Christian Walker. I thought Jordan Alvarez. Oh, we got the pieces. They just got to put the bat on the ball. Now, for whatever, Christian Walker just looks frustrated. He looks very flustered. He does strike out. I mean, strikeout is a part of his hitting, Eric, but he typically has been very dependable. And if I get one more person sending me a message asking me if he is Jose Brady 2.0, I'm going to lose my mind because this is like apples and oranges. This is a legit 3-time Gold Glove winner, a guy that's hit 30 home runs 3 years in a row when his home ballpark was Arizona. And that's not exactly a hitter's park.
The Astros have 2 home runs on the season. Is that correct?
That's it. Jeremy Pena, a solo shot, and Jose Altuve, a solo shot.
2 home runs, 5 games in. Just think about that. I mean, this is just this is a team that for power with Alvarez, with bringing Christian Walker over, and they have 2 home runs. Their slugging percentage is .226. That is officially, it's got to be last in baseball. It's refreshing. It is officially a bottom of the barrel in baseball. Their OPS has got to be last in baseball. It's got to be. Just the numbers that they're doing, you cannot do in a full season. Actually, Braves has a lower OPS at 466 than the Astros 487. But what they're doing right now is just un-Astros like. Their batting average is 171. Their on-base percentage is 261. This is just not the Astros team. And they're off to a bad start. Unfortunately, it's the pitching is doing their job, but it sucks.
So Christie says that Alvarez just said on TV that his swing's not clicking. He's working on it. So, hey, you know what? When a hitter's not feeling it, he's not feeling it. But that's why I want to talk about our friends at Supply House. Look, if you're one of the trade pros out there and you are in HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, you've got to go to Supply House. They are a top-notch sponsor, and we would love for you to support them. Use the code SH5 for 5% off your first order. What do they have? Well, I'm glad you asked. Their website is easy to use. And I can't stand going to websites where they have parts all over the place and you don't know what to order or what part goes into what system. Not here. 200,000 plus parts from 400 plus brands, and you'll find exactly what you need. And it's delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always be able to talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for that extra edge, their free TradeMaster program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the TradeMaster program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com.
Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead, subscribe to us, make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So somebody in comments made a comment. Well, you notice how he didn't say the Rangers? Well, let's go and talk about the Rangers. Let's talk about the whole AL West AL West for a second. The Rangers, they have a 631 OPS, 21st in baseball. The Mariners have a 601 OPS, 23rd in baseball. The Angels are 25th with a 563 OPS. And then you have the Astros with a 487 OPS. Wait, where are the A's? They're a little bit higher up here. Let's see, where are they? What are they called again? Oakland?
No, they're called the Athletics.
Athletics. Okay, so
Homeless A's.
The homeless A's. I don't even see them. But there's
That's
somewhere.
Okay. That's okay.
But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is nobody in the division is doing very well offensively. So there's room to grow there. We know that the A's are playing in a hitter's ballpark right now. Oh, there it's just called Athletics. That's why I couldn't see it. The A's offense has a 719 OPS for 13th in baseball. So right now, offensively, the A's are doing much better than any other team in the division. And so will that last? Who knows? They have 10 home runs. They have 21 RBIs. So we'll see. They have a 235 batting average compared to the other teams.
This is what I care about. Like the Angels right now are 4-1, Eric. Okay. They have 19 runs scored and 21 runs scored against. Okay. The Astros, get this, only have 15 runs scored against. The Astros have the lowest number of runs scored against. Nobody in the AL West has had less than 20 runs scored on them like the Astros. But the Astros are also the only team in the division to score less than 10 runs. So that right there is the problem. The problem is not the pitching. I do not think the Angels being where they are is sustainable. I don't think the A's where they are is sustainable. I don't think Seattle's going to stay at the bottom of the barrel. Their pitching's too good. Texas is going to be at top of the division because they're pretty consistent and they've had a really good solid start with Jacob deGrom. So at the end of the day, what has to happen is the Astros hitters and Jordan and the guys have to figure it out. Now, Jordan's going to be in left field tomorrow, okay? And I said it on X today. Well, why don't you play him in left field 2 games in a row? And everybody's like, well, they're afraid he'll get hurt. Why do we act like Jordan Alvarez is made of glass? And if Jose Altuve is put in left field because there's less chances to get a baseball defensively, wouldn't that same still be true for Jordan Alvarez? I mean, if they're hiding Altuve's glove, why can't they put Jordan Alvarez in the field where he bats almost 120 points higher average-wise and hits better? His swing's off. You know why? Because he's sitting the bench the whole game. That's why his swing is off. He doesn't feel like he's in the game. He said it himself. And this insanity of like, oh, well, you know, we're going to play in 35 games or less. Well, that's fine. I mean, is this guy not a professional athlete? Is this guy not paid to play? I mean, they literally act like he is made of glass, like he's going to break. And to me, when you have that mindset and you drill that into a player, then that's when players get hurt. When you try to be too careful, that's when you get hurt, right? Like if you're riding a bike or a motorcycle or something like that, and you're trying too hard to navigate and try not to fail and not to fall, what do? You end up wiping out, okay? Just let Jordan play in left field while we're at home. Put Altuve at second. I mean, it's not the end of the world. And get Jordan's bat off the ground. I think that will help him a little bit.
Well, I know they had this whole narrative this spring training. Oh, well, we're not going to have Cam Smith and DeZenzo on the roster unless they both are going to play. Well, DeZenzo's not playing, and he hasn't been given opportunity to play a lot. So I don't think that DeZenzo is the answer. But the Astros need to figure out what to do offensively. I think it's just going to be a matter of time. Maybe a day off will help, but they're going to figure things out. I think that if Alvarez is waiting for things to click, then that's great. Brian Lima on X after McTaggart posted that the Astros lost 3-1. He put pictures of the torpedo bats are out there for sale, $139. So the Astros could go out there and buy that. But if you're wondering about how Sacramento's going to play through 12 innings at the new park, I guess it's a minor league park, the 30 runs have been scored, 40 hits, 9 home runs. And so this is going to be a big offensive park. So this is basically, you're muted, by the way, but it's going to be basically a minor league, a little league park. It's going to be like playing at Field of Dreams all the time. By the way, I would love for the Astros one day play at Field of Dreams. That's awesome.
Can you imagine if the Astros go to Sacramento this year and they don't hit? I just thought about that. Now, look, here's the deal with the torpedo bats. Do you realize that the inappropriate hats that New Era in Major League Baseball put out from the AL West, all the with the logo, we're going for $1,000, but torpedo bats are going for $139. Something's wrong with this picture. I think the torpedo bats are in demand. Whoever's selling them,
because they're rare.
Jack the prices up.
Them down so fast.
I don't care. Jack the prices up. You know, you got multi-million-dollar players using these things. And look, here's the deal: the torpedo bat thing. Let's just kind of lay to rest this myth. It is really designed, from what I understand. I got to see the guy who basically invented them. He's now working with the Marlins. He said it's not for every hitter. It's mainly for hitters with short swings that can't do much with the inside pitch. They moved the wood in the bat in an area where some guys. So everybody that uses this, I think Jordan's elongated swing, I think Kyle Tucker's elongated swing, I don't think guys like that are going to have success with that torpedo bat. But then again, they are professional athletes and they can adjust. So torpedo bats aren't the answer. It's executing and just going out there and winning the game tomorrow. I don't care. Score 20 runs tomorrow, please. Do something. But Jordan's in left. I need 2 home runs from the big guy tomorrow.
All right. And in the last minute, let's go ahead and take a question from the crowd. David says that Caratini is better than Diaz. Let's start him. What are your thoughts, Brett?
Well, I actually contended that Caratini start at DH and Jordan, and Yainer Diaz start at catcher. I wanted Caratini and Diaz in the lineup together as hitters. Caratini is a very good backup. Okay. Yainer Diaz has not been great getting out of the blocks, but I think he's going to get there. Yeah. But I will tell you this, Diaz this last year was third in the AL hitting with runners in scoring position. I think his defense is going to improve, but you know what? You do have that luxury. You can start Caratini. Maybe that sends a message to Diaz to get a little bit better behind the plate, but I think they're both solid options. But as it goes, Diaz is your starting catcher, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
No, it's not even a comparison. Yes, Caratini has had some better bats, but it's still early in the season. This team will be fine offensively. Come a month in, and they're still struggling this bad. That's going to be a situation where you're looking at the hitting coach. You're looking at bringing some different guys up. At this point, I think they're going to be fine. It's just it's a small sample size. You're not going to gauge too much. But guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be talking about a victory. It'll be nice to be talking about some more hits and not just a win, Brett. Let's go ahead and score 10 runs. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. So that's all 20. We got. This is 20?
20.
Okay.
I said we get torpedo gloves, torpedo bats. What are you doing? Torpedo helmets? Let's just torpedo the Giants tomorrow. Let's sink them. Beat them 11-0. How's that? How's that? Right. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Giant.
All right. Well, that's all we got. We'll see you tomorrow. And Brett, what do we say?
Go Stros. You know, you don't have to say, Brett, what do we always say? You can just say, and Brett.